Good morning, good morning, good morning, folks. Excuse me. Welcome to another episode of Spilling Tea. I'm your host, Tiffany Daniels, and we're going back to that horrible world known as JRC. But before we do, usual disclaimers. As we know, today is Monday, not Friday. So, as usual, in the evening hours, I will be, of course, doing open chat, and there's much to chat about. So, we're going to have updates in regards to the Agape boarding school situation and the fact that my entire state has apparently become run by the freaking circus. As well as going over any updates at all in regards to Stop the Shock and just, letting off some steam, which is what Open Chat's all about. So please don't forget to miss that. We know it's varying times depending on how my schedule is running. I do gotta run some errands today. I am forcing myself to actually go out and get groceries because things are tight. So the majority of my groceries have to come from the freaking Dollar Tree. Okay? Yeah, I'm not looking forward to peopling. I'm not looking forward to peopling at all. But desperate times, right? You know that people really don't like autistic people in your particular town when they look down at you and they are fellow shoppers at the Dollar Tree. Just saying. Alright, other than that, in the description box, folks, you are going to see the link to the article that the Judge Rotenberg Educational Center doesn't want you to read. It is written by NeuroClastic, a small non-for-profit started by autistics for autistics, wherein they interviewed and surveyed over 900 ABA professionals from all over the world regards to the JRC's quote-unquote behavioral modification program. Matter of fact, the JRC doesn't want you to read this article so much they have threatened NeuroClastic with a defamation lawsuit if they do not remove it from the website. NeuroClastic has, of course, refused to comply. Therefore, folks, as we be petty on this channel, we be real petty. Please make sure to read that article and share it on all of your social media, alright? We also have linked in there NeuroClastic's public statement in regards to the defamation lawsuit threat, and I linked to their GoFundMe. We are crowdfunding in case the JRC has the balls to see through with their threat. We also have the links, once again, in regards to the Agape boarding school situations. For those of you not in the know, Agape boarding school is a Christian-themed boarding school that takes in so-called troubled male teens. Don't get me started on what all the things that they're not qualified for. Out in Stockton, Missouri, they have, and pending, over 21 lawsuits with substantiated claims of sexual abuse, physical abuse, emotional and psychological abuse, child trafficking has been added, as well as starvation. Please, folks, in that box, you're going to see a link to every single article and newscast we have gone over so far in regards to the subject. Please read them, watch them, and share them on all your social media. We also have a link to their change.org Shut Agape Boarding School Down petition. Again, sign, share on all your social media. My state is run by the circus. If we're going to get these assholes, especially in an election year, to actually do anything, we've got to get national and international pressure on this, and we need it now. Okay? So please, do what you can. See if we can't make this viral, alright? Alright, we also got the pertinent links to the Stop the Shocks campaign, including Autistic Hoya's massive archive on the subject, the templates, and the ever-present self-explanatory change.org Shut the Judge Rotenberg Center Down petition. When we talk about the JRC, folks, we're gonna I can't talk today. Sorry, Tiffany's not home today and cannot brain. Alright, folks. Blah, I lost my spot there. When we talk about the JRC, you're going to hear vivid descriptions of and catch clips of surveillance footage of people with disabilities being tortured and abused. If you got young children present, please use your headphones, alright? Now, this channel is marked not for kids for a reason. We use profanity on this channel and we talk about dark subjects. If your child is 16 or below and you allow them to watch channels like this, parental supervision should go without saying, all right? It is 9:28 a.m. in the morning. I'm barely coherent, apparently, obviously. So if I stumble over my words, folks, apologies in advance, all right? Okay, so we're going to have an interesting one today because this first sentence right off the bat is immediately batshit. And I don't mean the fun kind of batshit. I mean like the absolutely what the actual fuck kind of batshit. So let's get to it. Our goal in presenting program opportunities is to strengthen certain behaviors even beyond the level of most normal people normally have. So here we go. It's this whole concept that people with disabilities have to be more human than human. You've heard me say that several times. This is exactly what I'm talking about. We are being held unfairly to higher levels. We're held up to reach these levels that is not found in our neurotypical peers, nor is it demanded of them. So they feel they have the right to treat us like subhuman unless we are actually performing, in their idea, more normal than normal. Does this make sense to anyone? I thought the idea was to blend in and be like our neurological peers. This is not being like our neurological peers. It is making us stand out more than we already fucking do and painting a target on our backs. Okay? When you have someone acting like proper all the time, like Victorian era kind of proper, you really think neurotypicals is going to want to interact with us, work with us, or deal with us? No. No, Karen. No. It's unfair, it's unrealistic, and even on psychological treatment level, makes no sense. It makes no sense to hold us to a higher level to our neurotypical peers, what's expected of them, while at the same time torturing us and treating us as subhuman. And if we are not performing more normal than normal, then they have the right to starve us, torture us, shock us, traumatize us, deprive us of sleep, etc., motherfucking etc. They have the right to use adversives to the point that we end up in the damn hospital or dead if we are not more normal than normal. It doesn't make any sense, does it? Does it? But let's move on. No, I can't. I'm sorry. At a treatment level, it makes no sense to hold us to higher standards than our neurotypical peers are held to. Do you really want us to blend in? Do you want us to be successful, or are you too busy painting a target on our backs? Because that's what you're doing. It is a double fucking standard, and it's batshit insane that we have to be more normal than normal to be accepted by this fucking modern society. Even Brahma back there's protesting. He has things to say. See? For example, we try to teach certain students who have problems handling frustration and anger to cope successfully with an unfair or even inaccurately arranged pinpoint by a JRC staff member without losing his or her temper and getting enraged. You sick bastards. This isn't a mission. You remember what pinpoints are, don't you? That's when they shock you at 3 times more powerful than a police taser. So they're saying they will shock that kid for no fucking reason. And if the kid reacts and speaks up for themselves, well, that's a behavior zap. You should deal with the fact that the world's unfair and just take your punishment and keep your mouth shut. Remember when I've been saying all along that they are grooming us to accept abuse and to be used and cast away like garbage? This is my Exhibit A. This is my Exhibit A, and you can see it right here in the black and white. Let's read that again. For example, we try to teach certain students who have problems handling frustration and anger to cope successfully with an unfair or even inaccurately arranged pinpoint by a JRC staff member without losing his and her temper or getting enraged. You see that? We're not allowed to have a reaction when we're abused, folks. We're not allowed to speak out. We're not allowed to stand up for ourselves. We're just supposed to fucking take it. If that was done to a neurotypical kid and they stand up for themselves, the world would be right on their signs. You go, queen. I've seen it. But if it's one of us, well, what did you do to deserve it? Or maybe they were trying to teach you something. You see what I'm talking about double standards here? They are telling on themselves. Telling on themselves. You sick fucks are admitting to the fact that you will shock a student for no fucking reason at all. To condition them to not react, not stand up for themselves, not fucking fight back. Do people have any idea how dangerous this kind of conditioning is? This is the sort of thing that can end up with us dead. You condition a child in this fucking school and that trauma stays with them. And if they're fucking jumped on a street and they have been conditioned and through PTSD are now used to just accepting it, that's how people end up raped and dead. If you're in an unfair situation at work, if someone's doing sexual advances against you and you're disabled and you come from this school and you've been conditioned to keep your mouth shut and just take it, what does that teach us? It teaches us that these people think that we deserve to be treated that way. And that if we want to be good little disabled people and accepted by society and loved, we just have to learn to keep our mouth shut and take it. Not defend ourselves, not even do so much as speak up in our own defense. It is horrifying. It is fucking horrifying that this school thinks that it is okay to teach this. You might as well put a big fucking neon sign when that kid from JRC graduates saying, "Predators welcome." This school needs to be closed down immediately. It should have been closed back in the fucking 80s when the first student died. The level of depravity and this inhumanity, cruelty, torture, and batshit insane programming. This should have been closed a long time ago and exists now as a cautionary tale. This is 2022. Are we really saying that is not only okay, but should be a part of a treatment program of a person with a disability to accept abuse and just take it? Yeah. You want to know what my family did exact opposite? They taught me self-defense. They taught me how to shoot a gun when I was 10. Remember, military vet family. They taught me the basic self-defense. They taught me how to handle weapons if necessary. They did not try to condition me to accept abuse and keep my mouth shut and never stand up for myself. And if you're a parent and you see this shit and you fucking defend it, I could only pray and hope to God that when you pass away someday and you can no longer protect your child, that a predator doesn't get a hold of them next. Because what have they been conditioned to do? If we can indeed bring one of our students to such a point, then he or she is likely to handle normal frustrations of everyday life outside of JRC. No, it doesn't, JRC. This goes beyond frustrations. You are talking about conditioning someone to accept abuse and keep their mouth shut. That's what this is. It has nothing to fucking do to teach us about handling frustration. You shock a student for no reason, by your own admission. That student is expected to not tell someone about it, not stand up for themselves, not ask questions, not fight back. That's not teaching us to deal with frustration. It is teaching us to accept abuse. And to not even let anyone know what's going on. This is how people end up dead. This is the reason, folks, why so few of us, autistics especially, but across the disability board as well. This is more of my area here. This is why so few of us make it to C40. Because we are put in early interventions with ABA and shit like this that condition us to be compliant and never say a word in protest. That unless we get out of it, unless we deprogram ourselves from this shit, we become the prey to the predators of the world. There is blood on these people's hands, in my opinion. And I will fucking die on that hill. So what do you all think? Am I overthinking it? Or is this right here, what I have highlighted, specifically designed not to teach us to deal with our frustrations? The world's a frustrating place. It's not built for people like me. I know how to deal with frustrations without punching you in the face, Karen, but it is awfully fucking tempting. Just saying. Or is this instead teaching us how to accept abuse without a word? Just take it. And as an autistic, I can tell you, we can be of the mentality and mindset. If we are taught to loathe who we are long enough, to make us feel like that's what we deserve. Because I've been made to feel that way. Not by my parents, obviously, but I've been made to feel that way. And every once in a while, when my PTSD picks up, those thoughts come out of nowhere to fucking haunt me. You think it doesn't haunt these survivors? I can fucking tell you, yes, it does. Every day of their lives, every day they have to fight against the programming of this shit right here. And I thank God every goddamn day that they fought that programming enough to be able to raise their voices against the shit that the JRC does and had the balls to eyeball them down in court and at FDA hearings and at Senate hearings to tell what happened to them in that school. My fucking respect. That is bravery. That is strength. And I'm going to close out on that. We don't get very many reviews on this channel. Well, views. Blah. The few that we do tend to get removed from time to time. So, folks, please don't forget to hit the like button, hit subscribe, and don't forget to hit the comments. I do appreciate your time this morning. As always, we here at Spilling Tea hope you have a good one. Bye-bye.